Well, hi, this is Josh Nelson, and on this video, I'm going to show you how you can triple your sales within your plumbing or HVAC business by getting your internet marketing right. And throughout the course of this video, I'm going to show you examples and case studies of other plumbing companies in very competitive markets and really show you how they were able to double, triple, and 10x their sales by making some fundamental changes in their online marketing strategy and getting their internet marketing right. So the first example or case study I want to share is the Plumbing Doctor, and they're a plumbing company based out of Falls Church, Virginia. Been serving that market since about the 1980s, and they had built their business over the years in the Yellow Pages. So they had a big full-page ad and the Yellow Book in their market, and that was their number one source of business. And they'd actually been able to build a pretty sustainable company over the years. But somewhere around the mid-2000s, they noticed things started to drop off. The number of calls they were getting, the number of leads they were getting, and the revenue in the business was starting to decline. And the owner, Dr. Bill, as he refers to himself, decided that he needed to figure out where his customers went, and he needed to really figure it out quick. And so after doing some digging, he came to the logical conclusion that most of the people that were initially looking in the Yellow Pages had shifted to the internet. They were going to Google, they were going to Yahoo, they were going to Bing, they were even going to sites like Angie's List and Yelp.com. And he discovered that he needed to get active in internet relatively quickly. As a matter of fact, statistics tell us more than 97% of consumers, your customers, are going to the internet. They're going to Google and Yahoo and Bing when they need plumbing and HVAC related services. So he was right on. He knew he needed to come up with an internet marketing strategy if he was going to show up where his customers were looking when they needed his services. And so he tried a couple of different things. One of the first things he decided he was going to do, since the Yellow Book had done so well for him over the years, and the representatives from the company are very aggressive, very nice people, they came in and said, hey, we do internet as well. Let us set up your website. Let us get you on YP.com. Let us do the internet marketing thing for you. And he did, and he said, okay, go for it. And Yellow Book put together a little website for him, and they got him on YP.com, and he gave it a couple months. But it just didn't generate much in terms of calls and in terms of revenue. Certainly didn't replace the business he was getting from the Yellow Pages all those years. And really the fundamental weakness in this plan was, first of all, it was a simple website. It was home, about us, our services, contact us. Really didn't have anything compelling that would make somebody want to choose him or his company, the Plumbing Doctor, over the competition. The other problem was that it didn't show up in search. So it wasn't showing up on Google when someone typed in Falls Church Plumber, Falls Church Plumbing. And so it wasn't really showing up still where the people were looking when they looked online. The second path that he looked at was pay-per-click advertising. And one of the representatives came in from a very large pay-per-click management company. It was either Reach Local or Yodel or one of these companies. And they came in with a very aggressive sales presentation, some really nice technology, some cool reporting features of being able to listen to calls and know where the calls were coming from. And it was an aggressive budget. It was between $3,000 and $5,000 per month. And he said, okay, well, if that's going to work, let's do it. He was used to spending that kind of money in the Yellow Pages anyways. And as he did that, the number of calls he was getting increased, right? He did start to get some more calls, and he started to get some more business via the internet, but it wasn't enough, by any stretch of the imagination, to replace the Yellow Pages revenue he'd gotten all of those years. And it seemed like, despite the investment, there was only enough calls that came in to cover the investment. So if he was spending $3,000 that month, he would get just enough revenue to cover that, not enough to be profitable or really grow the company. And so at that point, he connected with us, and he implemented some of the strategies I'm going to be sharing with you throughout the course of this video on how to get your internet marketing right. And so we got the online marketing right. We got into his domain, theplumbingdoctor.com, and we built out a website that had the right pages so it could show up well in search, and we also added the necessary personality to the website, showcasing online reviews, showcasing pictures of the team and real pictures of the truck, talking about his specific market, and put a lot of verbiage that made it easy for a customer to choose him over the competition. We also implemented a pretty aggressive SEO strategy for building his authority, building his online reviews so that he could rank well in organic search. And before too long, he started showing up in the organic listing. So when someone typed in false church plumber, false church plumbing, he was ranking not just in the pay-per-click area, but actually in the organic listings in search. And in getting this right, the number of visitors to his website increased pretty significantly. We're here looking at between October and December. And you'll see in October he had 254 visitors to his website. By the time he got to December, he had 733 calls. But really what's more instructive here is what those visitors meant in terms of inbound calls to his company. So October, that 200 and change visitors turned into 24 inbound calls or leads for his company. However, by the time he got to December, he got 88 calls, and he started averaging 88 calls a month directly via the internet. So for him, that was a 3-time increase in the amount of opportunity that was coming in via the internet and the number of sales that were coming in as a result of his web marketing. And what this meant for him was, well, he was able to keep those guys that he had hired and trained and developed all those years. He was able to keep them on staff, keep them busy, and also his daughter Tracy, who came into the business, he was able to feel confident that over the years he's going to be able to hand an asset down to her that will be sustainable instead of something that's kind of going off the cliff. So, it really can have a major impact if you get your online marketing right. And there was a lot of things that went into the strategy, right? Setting up the website, doing SEO, putting a review automation process in place. And what's interesting is that 88 calls, or that triple in revenues, was only on the organic side of the equation. Talked about the plumbing doctor and how they went from those 23 calls to 88 calls. Well, we then went ahead and implemented paid online advertising, a pay-per-click campaign on Google AdWords and paid Angie's List listing. And what happened was the visitors from their website went from 712 visitors to over 1,000 visitors. And what that translated to was 72 calls all the way up to 213 calls. Now they're averaging over 215 calls every single month directly via the web. And just as a recap, October 2011, 24 calls via the internet. January 2014, 213 calls via the internet. That's a 10x increase. I promised you on this presentation I would show you how you could triple your sales. How about a 10x increase in sales? So just some additional case studies on this, right? I told you that I wanted to share some existing case studies and examples above and beyond just the plumbing doctor. Well, one of the companies we work with is out of Orlando, Florida. It's Shamrock Plumbing. And when we started with Shamrock, he'd been in business for about 2 years. He believed heavily in internet. So he built himself a website on shamrockplumbingfl.com. He had read a bunch of books and articles on SEO, so he did a pretty decent job setting up his website and creating some content. But what he found was he still didn't rank well. When he typed in Orlando plumber, Orlando plumbing, Orlando drain cleaning, Orlando repiping, he was on the second and third page. And being on the second and third page, you don't get a lot of visitors and you don't get a lot of calls. And so he was struggling. He was trying to get the business off the ground. Well, we were able to work with him, get the online marketing right, implementing all the strategies we just talked about, right? Building the authority, putting a review automation process in place. And within a matter of a couple of months, he started to move up significantly. And if we look right now for Orlando Plumber, he holds the #1 position both organically and in the map listings. And what's, I guess, more important is over that period of time, he went from 253 visitors to 893 visitors, which goes from 25 calls to 113 calls. Major impact on his business, and he's been able to grow significantly. As a matter of fact, when we started with Mark from Shamrock Plumbing, he was a one-man operation working from his home. Today, about 2.5 years later, he's got 6 full-time guys, 2 in-house dispatch ladies, and he works out of a 2,500 square foot facility in Orlando, Florida. Here's what Mark had to say about us.
Hi, my name is Mark with Shamrock Plumbing. You know, a lot of companies rely on getting the word out there, making themselves known so that people will call and use their services. Over the last few years, while we've been in business, we've used different companies to get us up on the web and do our web pages and basically get us on the search engines. And I've tried different companies, and some companies have worked and some companies haven't. I found a company right now that are doing basically all the stuff that I used to do and I used to want to get done on my website. A company called Plumbing SEO. Excuse me, Plumber SEO. Basically, they build my website. They do all my search engine optimization. They're basically there when I need them. They won't do anything unless they run it past me first. So I kind of have a hand in everything that's going on. When they started, my ranking in different keywords was pretty low, maybe in the sort of 15, 18, which puts me on the second and third page. And they basically said, you know what, let us go on it, let us do the website, we'll create pages and do everything we want to do, and let's see how we get on. Well, in the last 2 months, I've gone from page 3 all the way up to page 1, where I'm up on the map section and everything else. They've helped me with the videos. I will basically make videos, and they'll help me post them, and we're getting views in those videos, and everything's working. These guys are amazing. Give them a try. The one thing that I thought was great was, before I started, they said, you know what, we'll work with you, but we'll also make a promise with you not to work with another competitor in your area, which is great. It means that I don't have to worry about my competitor going up to the same guys, and basically now I'm competing against more people in the same area. But these guys are outstanding. Give them a call. I'll put a link at the bottom of this video, and see what you think. Okay, talk to Josh. They're amazing. Once again, it's Mark with Shamrock Plumbing. Also, if you actually need to call us, you can get us at 407-292-8881, or on the web at shamrockplumbingfl.com.
And so that was a great case study, and that's really what we're all about, helping you get your internet marketing right so that you can get a significant growth in sales and revenues within your company. So another case study is Schuler Services out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. And similar scenario, the owner, Greg Joyce, had been in this business since childhood, right? It's his dad's company, and he bought the company out just in the last 6 to 9 months, and decided as he was going to start to take over the company, he needed to take it to the next level. He needed to get his internet marketing right so that he could really get the guys busy and get the revenues flowing within the company. And prior to working with us, they weren't doing much online, had a very basic one-page website, didn't rank well. Well, we were able to put an aggressive online marketing strategy in place, just like we've described throughout the course of this video. And if we type in Allentown Plumber, Allentown Plumbing, Allentown Drain Cleaning, and even a lot of his subsidies, you'll see right there, Allentown Plumbing, he's got the #1 position, spot A on the Google map listings. And what this meant for him, he went from 477 visitors to 863 visitors in the past 3 months. That's an increase from 42 calls to 121 calls, leads coming in directly via the web on a consistent monthly basis. And, he had some very positive things to say about us. I won't read you the entire testimonial. Really what I want to focus on, though, is here at the bottom, he says, we're currently up 20% year over year and busier than ever. So 20% for him, there's a $2 million company that's been around literally for 50 plus years. That 21% means he went from $2 million to $2.4 million. That's $400,000 increase in revenues for his business. And we're just getting started. We haven't even started to implement any of the paid online marketing strategies at this point. So I wanted to launch into a real quick live overview. It's one thing to see screenshots. It's one thing to read testimonials. But sometimes you really want to see it live. You want to make sure what you're seeing is true and can be substantiated. So I've got a Google search up. I'm in a private browser, so there's no caching going on my screen. And I'm not logged in. So this is real straight from Google. And if we go to Google and we type in Orlando Plumber, you'll see right here, spot 1, spot A, that's Shamrock Plumbing. That was the case study. The guy I was telling you about went from a one-man shop to a 6-man operation in the last year and a half. And if we dive into his website, I'm going to show you a little bit of the strategy and really what goes into making this happen. Again, title tag, Orlando Plumber and Drain Cleaning, Shamrock Plumbing, Orlando, Florida. We're targeting that in the title tag, the H1 tag. Good, unique content, video to resonate the personality, to keep the people on the website longer. A heat map where his technicians are checking in, that information automatically being updated to the website. and a systematic process for getting online reviews. And so Orlando Plumber, Orlando Plumbing, Orlando Repiping, Shamrock Plumbing, there's his repiping site. Repipe Orlando is a secondary site we set up for him. So, I mean, this website ranks for a lot. That's why he gets so many calls directly via the web. One of the other examples we talked about was Schuler Services in Allentown. An Allentown plumber. There's Schuler Spot A on the map, position number 1. Falls Church Plumber. This was another example I showed you. Plumbing doctor right here. Plumbing doctor right here. These strategies really work well. So I've shown you a number of case studies and examples. I've shown you irrefutable proof that when you get your internet marketing right, you can and will drive a lot more calls, and you will rank much better in search for the keywords that are most important for you. So a little bit of bad news though. What we do as a company isn't for everyone, right? We don't tend to work with the small guys that have no interest in growth. If you're a one-man operation, you want to remain a one-man operation, you're just looking to get yourself a little bit more busy throughout the day, this program's probably not for you. We only have the resources to work with one plumbing company in each market, or one HVAC company in each market. The reason we do it that way, we really just feel like it's a conflict of interest to work with multiple. So, if we're already working with somebody in your city, unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to work with you. And you have to qualify, right? We've worked with a number of plumbing and HVAC companies over the years. We know the kinds of companies that are going to be a good fit for us that typically are doing $500,000 to $1 million or more per year in revenue, have a stable operation with live people to answer calls, real guys in the field to provide good service. Those are the types of companies. Make sure you fit that mold because we want to make sure it's a win-win. We're going to come in, we're going to implement a world-class internet marketing strategy for you. We want to make sure that you have the infrastructure in place and the quality of an operation to fulfill the service and generate a strong return on investment. And it's appropriately priced. So we're not the cheap guys on the block. We really have developed a world-class solution for your plumbing and HVAC business. And we're not going to be the low guys in price, but what we do generates great return on investment and is worth every penny. So if you'd like to get started, if you have questions, all you have to do is submit your application below, and we will get in touch with you and we'll get started for you right away. Little overview of the process. We need to spend some time doing an evaluation of where you're at right now in terms of your website, in terms of your online rankings, in terms of how your website converts, and what you're currently doing. And so our first step is to do a live strategy session with you where our team will invest the time, expertise, and know-how to look at your website, develop a keyword list based on what we know the most commonly searched plumbing and HVAC related keywords are in your city. We'll then determine where you rank for those keywords and run a report to say, okay, on Google, Yahoo, and Bing, where are you ranking right now? Do you need to improve in a lot of different areas to rank better in search for those various things? Then we'll review the conversion elements. I mean, does your website have what it needs in order to really resonate with someone? Is it showcasing reviews? Does it have the personality? And then we'll look at the other off-page variables. Does it have enough links? Do you have enough citations? Do you have enough reviews? So we're going to determine what exactly needs to be done to take you from where you're at today to where you want to go. And so we charge $50 for that evaluation. It's completely refundable. Again, you need to qualify. We want to make sure you're a good fit. We're going to be investing at least an hour of our time and expertise. And so it's not a veiled sales pitch. If you don't feel like you get value from this assessment, this strategy session that we're going to set up with you, we'll actually give you $100 back. That way, you're not wasting your time. I can assure you, you're going to get value from the strategy session, whether we do business or not. However, if we do wind up coming to business, that $50 will be credited towards our relationship working together. And we're also going to send you, as a bonus for signing up with us for that strategy session, a copy of our book in the mail, The Complete Guide to Internet Marketing for Plumbing Contractors, as well as our CD DVD program, Your Online Marketing Plan. And this is really going into depth exactly what you need to do with your website, with your on-page optimization, with your keywords, with your conversion elements. It runs about an hour and a half, and it's chock full of content. You'll get the DVD training as well as the CD. These are both bonuses that you're going to get mailed to you completely free of charge when you schedule your assessment right now. So just fill out the button below, and even if you have questions, just schedule it. We'll get you on the calendar, and we'll work towards getting your internet marketing right as soon as possible. Thanks for your time. We'll look forward to talking with you soon.